Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHAWASHI, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah YAHAWASHI. All praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Rekakadash. Now, Yahawashah, he's on his way. And that's why the spirit of war is in the atmosphere, is on the news. He said that's would be one of the signs to know he's on his way. Now let's get that let's see here. Matthew chapter 24. He says 24:3, it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Verse 4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Matthew 24:5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. 24, verse 6, he said, Ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 24 and 7, he said, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. So these are the signs that he was giving his disciples, because this is specifically what they asked him. And what shall be the sign? Now, when you go into Luke, it tells some more signs, but this war situation, I want to address that first. The war situation. Rumors of wars. Well, the main rumor is going to be the war that he's going to bring. Let me get that in Revelation. Revelations 19 and 19 and verse 11, it says, And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he do judge and make war. In righteousness he make war. So he's going to bring war to these nations. Verse 14, it says, And armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. So the other angels was going to have white horses too. You see, and these white horses, meaning pure power. They're going to be coming with pure power. Now, this is in Daniel, because John and Daniel gave some of the clearest prophetic breakdowns of the end. Now, let's go to Daniel, because Nebuchadnezzar was given a vision or a dream, and then he got Daniel to interpret the dream, because Daniel asked God what was the interpretation and what was the dream of Nebuchadnezzar, because he was being threatened by death to reveal this dream to Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar was threatening him and all the other so-called uh, astrologers and spiritual people. And so Daniel was the only one that could get this vision interpreted. So in Daniel chapter 2, he talked about the end and he talked about war. Now, Daniel 2:30 or Daniel 2:40, and look at what it says here in Daniel 2:40. I don't know if it's going to bring the screen. It says Rome. Daniel 2:40. Rome. See, and Rome is pretty much these Edomites, the so-called white man, the fourth kingdom. See, this so-called American European system, that is all the Edomites. They are the fourth kingdom because Nebuchadnezzar was so-called Hamites. The Persians was Elam, and the Greeks was Edomites. And the Greeks is just like Rome to America. First it was the Greeks, then it transformed to Rome. Then Rome transformed into America. See, and those three, all the nation of Edom is in top rulership, and they the fourth kingdom. Let's see here. So it says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, whereas much as iron breaketh into pieces and subdue all things. That's because American military. The American military with NATO, they have the greatest military power. That's why when Finland was trying to join or made an announcement that they wanted to join NATO, the news reporter had to say Finland want to join the greatest military power on earth, okay? Because they are like iron. They can crush everything, break it into pieces, subdue it, make it submit to them and obey them pretty much. So when you get down to verse 44, look what it says. 244. 244, it says, the divine kingdom. So you have the fourth kingdom, which is the nation of Edom, and you have the divine kingdom. And what does the divine kingdom come to do? It says, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And what this kingdom gonna do? And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. See those three, it was four kingdoms. That was the four beasts. Nebuchadnezzar, the Persians, then the Greeks, then the Romans. So all those kingdoms, mind you, these kingdoms was the ones that put the children of Israel into captivity. That's why I say the kingdom shall not be left to other people. See, not going to be left to these other people. That's those four beasts. Those four beasts is not going to be a part of the kingdom of heaven. It's going to set up a kingdom separate from those kingdoms, a nation separate from those nations who was ruling the Babylon, Persia, and Greeks and Romans or Edomites. See, he's going to set up a kingdom that ain't a part of those kingdoms. They really are the slaves of those kingdoms, and they built those kingdoms. They gonna break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms and stand forever. So that's why it says that in Revelation that YAHAWASHI is gonna um reign. No, he's gonna come with righteousness. Let's get it. I don't want to butcher the scripture. Revelation 19:11. It says, "And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called faithful and true, and in righteousness he do judge and make war." So in righteousness, YAHAWASHI is gonna make war. See, he's gonna make war in righteousness. Him and his army. So when you go to and war is not peace. just to put that in the atmosphere. But chapter 12 of Revelation talks about this war. See, and it talks about the fourth kingdom. The fourth kingdom is in Revelation chapter 12. And that fourth kingdom is who's going to war against the fourth kingdom, the third kingdom, and the fourth and the third kingdom are the same kingdom. That's why in Revelation 13 it say the dragon gave his power to the beast. But the first and the second kingdom, they are going to war with YAHAWASHI. But here in Revelation 12 it says, "And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. This great red dragon stands for the nation of Edom." Edom means red, and dragon means a serpent-like nation or person. See, you either a person or a nation. And so when you go down to verse 7, it say, "And there was war in heaven." See, it's going to be a war between YAHAWASHI and the dragon. Between YAHAWASHI and Rome or NATO, because Rome is the ones who attacked him, or the Edomites were the ones who attacked him while he was a baby. Look at verse 2. It says, "And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered." And then verse 4, it says, "And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered to devour her son as soon as he be born." And this is what's going to happen when YAHAWASHI come. The nation's going to be ready to devour YAHAWASHI as soon as he come. And they're going to be ready to make war with him. That's why it says in righteousness. And they know he is an angel from God. They know he's coming from another realm. They know who he is. But the red dragon ain't going to care. See, the red dragon is like Pharaoh. He's going to buck God, an obvious power that he can't contend with. Now let's go to Revelation. Where we at? 13, okay. Revelations 19. Let's jump all the way down to verse 19. It says, "And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army." So they're going to be waiting on YAHAWASHI, ready to make war with him. They gathered together. That's why he's going to come in righteousness, ready to make war. Or he's going to war with these nations in righteousness, because he's on the right side. He's on God's side. And these individuals is fighting against God. That's what let's get Psalms 2 real quick. Psalms chapter 2, verse 2. It says, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, who is YAHAWASHI, and the nation of Israel. See, the whole nation of Israel was anointed. And so, let's see. I'm thinking Daniel breaks it down also and let it be known that the fourth beast is the ones that's going to war with Yahushua. Even though chapter 2 talked about it. Where is it? 11 and verse 7. Daniel 7 and 17, it said, these great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. So these kings was the Nebuchadnezzar, the Persian, the Greeks, Edomites, Roman Edomites. And the fourth beast is the American Edomites. All these are the same nation. The third and the fourth beast are the same nation. It says, in verse 19, then I know the truth of the fourth beast. Okay, then jump down to verse 20. And the 10 horns that were in his head. See, that's what the red dragon had. The red dragon had 10 horns. The red dragon is that fourth beast. The red dragon is that fourth king. It is not got nothing to do, fourth kingdom, got nothing to do with a fallen angel. It's the fourth kingdom that gonna bring their armies with the rest of the heathens, and they're gonna be waiting for Yahushua, and it's gonna be a war in the sky. And that red dragon, that fourth kingdom, is called Satan. That fourth kingdom is called the devil. See, there's no fallen devils. Who is gonna fall is that kingdom. Cause look at what this kingdom is, the fourth kingdom. Daniel 7 and 19. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse and all reversed from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were as iron, nails as brass, which devoured, break in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. So he pretty much was dreadful, and he subdued everything. His fourth beast. And the same thing with America. They subdue everything. They are exceedingly dreadful because they have all these nuclear missiles and all of these weapons, and they have NATO to make them the greatest power, military power, that nobody can compete with them. They're going to break them into pieces as soon as they try to compete with NATO. And that's been the history until these last days. Now, Zechariah talked about this war also. Let's get that real quick. Zechariah chapter 1. Now, Zechariah, he kind of stated this fourth kingdom. This is how he said. He didn't say fourth kingdom. See, that just popped up. He said 4 horns. You see, so this fourth kingdom was, and horns represent king or powers. It says this 4 horn, Zechariah 1 and 18, he saw 4 horns. So he really was saying he saw 4 beasts, he saw 4 kingdoms. And he said that these kingdoms scattered the Israelites. They put the Israelites into slavery. Then 21, Ezekiel 1 and 21, it said, then said I, what these come to do? These 4 carpenters is what he was saying. What is the 4 carpenters coming to do? Now the carpenters is Russia and their allies, because you got NATO is on one end, then you got Russia and its allies, China, Iran, uh, on another end. And so you have the Lord showed me before, and you had Zechariah saying, "Well, what did these four carpenters come to do to the beast?" It says, "What come to these come to do?" He spake and said, "These are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man lifted up his head. But these are come to fray them, to cast out the horns or the kingdoms of the Gentiles, which lifted up their head against the land of Judah to scatter it." So that's what these horns is gonna get dealt with. These kingdoms of the heathens or the Gentiles, they're gonna get dealt with. So in second Ezra chapter 13, it talks about another part of how these nations was gonna be waiting on YAHAWASHI to make war with him. It says here 13. Okay, where is it? Okay, it said there was this second Ezra 13:5, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. So this is the nations gathered together. They're gonna try to subdue YAHAWASHI. See, and that's when the war is gonna break off. Okay. Verse 8, this second Ezra 13:8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. So that's what that war in heaven is about. That Yahushua is coming in righteousness to make war. He's making war in righteousness. Or it says in righteousness to make war. Let's get Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 3. It says in 16, Habakkuk 3 and 16, it says, "When I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice. Rottenness entered into my bone, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh up upon the people, he will invade them with his troops." See, that's Revelation 19. It says, I think it was 19 and 14. It said that he was gonna invade. He was gonna have his army on white horses also. Let's read it. 14. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. So he had his armies that followed him on white horses, and they was gonna make war with the red beast. And let's see here. And this red dragon is the red beast in Revelation 12 and 13. They are from the nation of Edom, and they divided. So Revelation 18 talks about the 10 horns going to turn on the woman, which is America. And so them 10 horns still gonna be around when they destroy America. Them 10 horns gonna unite with the other Edomites, which is Russia, and they gonna attack YAHAWASHI. You see? Because America is gonna be destroyed. They're not gonna be around to attack YAHAWASHI. Now, let's see here. Let's see. Revelation 19. Let's see. Oh, Revelation 12 and 7. Let's get that one more time. Now I'll close it up right there. So Revelation 7, when it says, and there was a war in heaven, Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. This is talking about YAHAWASHI fighting those 10 kings, which is Revelation 17 and 12. Say the king, them 10 horns is 10 kings. So Michael is in Daniel 12. Say he's gonna rise up for the children of your people. He was talking to Daniel and telling Daniel the children of your people is gonna be in trouble, and Michael is gonna come and deliver them. And so you got all of this going on. And this is the war that was in heaven. It was not no fallen angels. That's a lie, and it don't match up with the Bible. YAHAWASHI is coming to make war with these nations. And so when he make war with these nations, it says, and prevailed not, neither was there found any more in heaven. So the red dragon is gonna be knocked out of the sky. And the red dragon is the so-called white man, the slave master. It's not complicated. They have all the missiles, the tank, the guns, the bullets, the nuclear bombs, the airplanes, the battleships. They got everything. They're gonna try to subdue YAHAWASHI, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, and he gonna war with them and invade them and destroy them. Well, I just wanted to bring that out, and he's gonna do all this in righteousness because what Jeremiah 50:33, they refused to let the Israelites go. They took them into captivity, stole their homeland, and now it's time to pay the piper. What is 2 Ezra 6:9? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That fourth kingdom is Esau, the Edomites, the so-called white man, and YAHAWASHI is coming to make war with them, because they exalted themselves like an eagle with great pride, and say they are like God, like Ezekiel 38, but they're not like God. See, they're men. What's that? Isaiah 31. The Egyptians are men. They are not spirit. So they is gonna have to war with YAHAWASHI, and they already seeing all kind of ships and stuff coming in their radars. The military soldiers say we've been seeing this since 2019. The summer of 2019, we've been seeing aircrafts, air objects flying around for years, back to back. So anyhow, I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, Bashem YAHAWASHI, Bashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace of the elect worldwide. The blacks, Hispanics, Native American, descendants of slaves scattered around the globe on slave ships and in many captivities. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.